It's 743 News Radio 102.9 KARN. First news, Kevin Miller joined by Senator Tom Cotton. Good morning, sir.
Hey, Kevin, it's good to be on with you. And nice lead-in on the news there. Those are two very important initiatives that the Trump administration announced yesterday, both of which I support, ensuring that our immigrant system brings in people who can stand on their own 2 feet, and also protecting property rights of all the property owners all across Arkansas from expansive interpretations of the Endangered Species Act.
Senator, I want to talk about some of the things that are happening here in Arkansas. You're on a break from Washington, and you spent a lot of time in the state talking to people. You'll be in Batesville, I guess, tomorrow, or Batesville today?
Actually, I'm about to leave right now, okay. Kevin.
All right.
Joining the Attorney General up there.
Great. And then as you've taken some time off and you've talked to some of the people here in the state, what are you hearing them say? What are their concerns?
Well, Kevin, today we're going to be in Batesville to have a roundtable with the Attorney General to hear about the climate for small businesses up there, also to hear from law enforcement as well. I've done that across the state already just over the last week or so. I do hear a lot, Kevin, about immigration. The announcement the Trump administration made yesterday as part of the initiatives I proposed to try to ensure that our immigration system brings in people who can stand on their own 2 feet from the very beginning and contribute to our society, and who won't be, a burden on the public treasury. Programs like food stamps or housing assistance or welfare are there for American citizens who have struggled or who have lost their job or need a helping hand. They shouldn't be going towards immigrants who are just coming to this country for the first time. I also hear a lot, Kevin, about China. Obviously, China has been in the news a lot. The protests in Hong Kong and the trade disputes. So many of our manufacturers, our farmers, our ranchers, our foresters want to get a good trade deal with China, but they know that China has been cheating them for many decades, and they're glad that the president is finally standing up to China. They hope that he gets a good deal. They don't want the tariffs to be a perpetual policy. But almost everyone with whom I speak understands that it's long past time before we take China on and stop letting them take advantage of all of us.
And with that, I want to mention, too, why should China be in a rush to do anything? They may be waiting us out for the 2020 election to see what happens there.
Well, I have no doubt that that's part of the thinking of Xi Jinping. That's why we need to listen very carefully to what every Democratic presidential candidate says about China. China is a ancient civilization, and they have a long history of trying to wait out their adversaries. But China's also got severe problems of its own. Put simply, China cannot feed its own people. That's one reason why they import so much grain. They can't power their own economy. That's why they import vast quantities of oil, almost all from our allies. They've got serious demographic and social problems of their own in terms of prosperity and development, not getting off the coast and their mainland, and trying to get the kind of widespread opportunities that you see on the Chinese coasts all around the country. These are not easy challenges for China's leaders to deal with. The president understands that, and that's one reason why he's pressing China on all fronts.
Senator Tom Cotton, as China looks for different sources to feed their population, do we lose markets permanently?
I don't think we lose them permanently because ultimately America's farmers are really producing a bounty to feed the world. Sure, China can shift its markets elsewhere temporarily, but in the end, the United States is the most reliable and the most durable partner around the world for importing the kinds of grains and other foodstuffs that China's leaders need. What China faces the risk of losing is their manufacturing base. You already see a lot of companies that are doing business in China moving to other countries in Asia, like Vietnam, for instance. And I hear from a lot of business leaders around the country that say even if there were a trade deal today, they would still try to move their operations out of China because there's just too much uncertainty in the relationship with the United States right now. And China's leaders are taking the country in a more authoritarian direction. So foreign businesses no longer feel comfortable investing in China the way they have over the last 30 years.
Senator Tom Cotton, good to talk to you this morning. Thanks so much.